And if the Romulans are an offshoot of my Vulcan blood, and I think this likely, then attack becomes even more imperative.
War is never imperative, Mr. Spock.
It is for them, Doctor. Vulcan, like Earth, had its aggressive, colonizing period. Savage, even by Earth standards. And if the Romulans retain this martial philosophy, then weakness is something we dare not show.
All right. Larry back here with you, working on the Romulan BOP 1/350 scale. Back on it after putting the lunar models CV back together, you know, getting that ready, shipped out as a Christmas present for a friend of mine. That worked out pretty good. And dealing with COVID, and then dealing with work. So anyway, new year, getting back on the project. So as you can see from the last update, I now have the top part of the hull on, and my messy bench is in the background. So I figured I'd show you you know, I don't have any primer on this. In fact, I've gone through it. It's like several iterations of putty and sanding and putty and sanding. So you know, but show you the rough work. I will tell you this, you know, my mistake was when I put the hull on, I used these things, and I should not have. All right, back with you. Had to change the battery in the camera. Haven't used that in a while. So all right. What I was saying was I used the clamps to hold down the top hull when I glued it, and I shouldn't have, because what it had done was in this area right here, it basically squished the hull, so it made a cavity. Now you would think with a little bit of heat and prying up in the on the hull, it would have kind of fixed it, but it didn't. And I didn't want to have to peel the hull back off just to straighten it out, because I wasn't sure that was going to work. So anyway, long story short, I was using the Evercoat and, you know, filling in the low spots here, or I should say, yeah, definitely filling in the low spots that I couldn't pull up. So anyway, I got it back fairly smooth, and as you can see with the red spot putty, it kind of fill in the rest of the low spots. So right now it's all looking pretty good. Got the edge. It's fairly sharp. You know, it's not going to get much better than that. You know, the wings, I got the wings blended in nicely. You know, top of the wing blends into the top part of the hull. So, and then you know, we're back on this side here. So all in all, it came out pretty good. The alignment wasn't all that great. In fact, it was kind of skewed a little bit. You know, it was almost like the how do you want to say it? Trapezoidal? Slightly. It was like longer in this corner, shorter in that front, and vice versa on this side here. So it was just a little weird. But, you know, you're dealing with stuff like that, the vacuum forming. So the underside of the hull, like I said, looking pretty good. Have this area blended in nice. Get you in camera. So got this blended in pretty nice. I still don't have the exhaust cones on. In fact, what I'll do is, because I believe those are like chrome, or you know, chrome color. So I'll paint those and then glue them on. Same thing coming around here. I got my wires. I have them labeled on another piece of paper, you know, so which is which for the engines and for the nacelles and for the hull lights. But all this came out pretty good. I mean, it feels smooth. It blends in nice. So my next step is to shoot some primer on it. So come back and see how that looks after some primer. Alright, as I said, you know, I don't mind showing you guys in the rough stages, you know. It's always nice to see how you start with a raw kit and get to, you know, get to the finished product. So, I just shot the top. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but, you know, I see a lot, I won't say a lot of imperfections, but there's definitely some work, you know, still needs to be done. I did use a primer filler, so I got some low spots in that wing. I don't know if you can see it in the angle, but anyway, I mean, it's doable, it's fixable. You know, along the edge here, still needs to be a little sanded out, so got a little low spot right there. There you go, you can see it. So overall in all, I mean, it looks like I said, first stage, first pass. The roundness of the nacelle, you know, I was kind of worried about that, but you know, that seam came out pretty good. So anyway, all right, that's where I'm at. So have to let that dry and then do a little more filling and sanding and filling and sanding and primering and see how it goes. But anyway, like I said, first pass after the assembly of the model, so we'll go from there. Thanks. Alright, so gave the bottom shot of the primer filler, and it came out pretty good. There's some areas I need to hit, you know, with the red putty, spot glazing putty. In fact, I'm out of it, so I gotta go get some more. But all in all, you know, the bottom came out pretty good. I think a little bit better than the top did. So I don't know. Give this a sanding or another filling, and then some sanding, and then give it another shot of primer and see where we're at. So, all right. Like I said, just showing you the rough stages of, you know, how to get from point A to point B. So this is just the first go around with the primer. So, all right, back at you.